Hi, it's Vernon again. Today we're going straight into something every woman over 60 needs to know. The 3 questions liars ask to manipulate you and how Stoic wisdom can help you stop them cold. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling off, like something was wrong but you couldn't explain it? That's not your imagination. That's manipulation at work. It's quiet, it's polite, and it's dangerous. People like this don't raise their voice. They ask questions, soft ones, sweet ones. But behind those words, there's control. They're not trying to connect, they're trying to direct. Today, I'll show you how to recognize those questions before they take hold. We'll break them down one by one, using timeless Stoic insight to bring sharp clarity where there was once confusion. Like Marcus Aurelius said, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Let's change how you see it so you never fall for it again. Stick around to the end. You'll walk away clear-headed and strong. And if this speaks to you, like, share, and subscribe. It helps other women find the same strength. Now, let's start with the first question, the one that sounds kind, but quietly cuts away your confidence.
Are you sure you remember that right? I'll be honest with you, this one hit me personally. Years ago, someone close to me, someone I trusted deeply, used that exact line. It wasn't shouted, it wasn't even said with a hint of anger. It came with a gentle tone, a small smile, and just enough warmth to make me doubt myself. At first, it felt like care, a small nudge. But it wasn't care, it was control wrapped in concern. That's the danger of manipulation. It wears the face of gentleness while working underneath to unravel you. I remember standing there, heart open, explaining how I felt about something deeply important, and the response? Not compassion, not conversation, just that one quiet phrase. Are you sure you remember that right? That's how doubt begins, not as a shout, but as a whisper. It enters slowly, and if you're not careful, it settles deep. I found myself going back through old conversations in my head, questioning my own memory, wondering if maybe I'd been too emotional, too reactive to something. And the worst part? The person saying it never had to raise their voice. They never had to call me wrong. They simply made me unsure of myself. And that was enough. Doubt, especially when planted with care, is more dangerous than any direct insult, because it comes from inside you. In the beginning, I adjusted. I softened my voice, held back my thoughts. I started rehearsing what I would say, just to make sure it wouldn't be dismissed. I made myself smaller in conversations, just to keep the peace. But peace that comes at the cost of self-respect isn't peace, it's submission. Eventually, the line between their voice and my own began to blur. One day, I caught myself doubting my own instincts, asking myself, "Are you sure you're not being too sensitive?" That was the moment I realized something vital had been taken: my trust in myself. Gaslighting. I didn't know the word back then, but I knew the fog, the internal quieting, the guilt that follows you even after the conversation ends. It took years to peel back that conditioning, to see the pattern, to finally say, that wasn't me, that was them. Epictetus said, "Don't let the force of an impression when it first hits you knock you off your feet. Say to it, hold on a moment, let me see who you are and what you represent." That quote helped me come back to myself. It gave me permission to pause, and in that pause, I found clarity. I found ownership. Now, when I hear that question in any form, I don't rush to explain. I don't shrink. I simply say, yes, I remember it that way. And I let the silence do the rest. Because someone who truly respects you will never ask you to abandon your reality. They'll meet you in it, not rewrite it. And if someone asks you to constantly bend your version of truth for their comfort, you're not in a conversation, you're in a quiet form of control. That's the difference between manipulation and mutual respect. One diminishes you, the other honors you. And that clarity, it's everything.
2. How can I help you feel better? This question is dangerous not because it's cruel, but because it's convenient. It's the kind of question that looks like empathy but feels like a shortcut, a way to bypass what's real in order to return to what's comfortable. The danger is this: when someone asks how they can help you feel better, they're often skipping the part where they sit with what's making you feel bad. They want resolution without understanding, relief without depth. And when this happens repeatedly, your emotions begin to feel like a problem to fix instead of a truth to honor. In Western philosophy, especially among the Stoics, discomfort is not something to be avoided, it's something to examine. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." That tells us emotional suffering grows most when we're not allowed to look directly at it, to hold it up to the light. So when someone, even with a soft tone, jumps to solutions too quickly, ask yourself, am I being truly heard, or am I being managed? Because real care doesn't ask, how can I make this go away? It asks, what are you really feeling beneath this? Philosopher Carl Jung once said, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. And many times what looks like care is just someone avoiding their own discomfort by trying to edit yours. You have every right to sit in your sadness, your anger, your uncertainty. These emotions are not weaknesses, they are wisdom speaking in another language. When you allow yourself to listen without rushing, you begin to grow roots, deep, resilient, unshakable. So next time someone asks you how to help you feel better, look past the words. Ask yourself, do I need comfort, or do I need to be understood? Because you deserve more than a fix. You deserve to be seen. Before we move on, take a moment. Let all this settle. Because the next question we'll explore is perhaps the most deceptive of all, the one that pretends to find middle ground, but is really about steering you silently. We'll dive into that next. A question that cloaks control in the language of compromise. Stay with me. 3. Can't we just meet halfway? At first glance, this sounds fair, even noble. Compromise is supposed to be a virtue, isn't it? The foundation of mature relationships, the golden ground between two differing perspectives. But not all compromises are equal, and not all who ask for one are sincere. The phrase, "Can't we just meet halfway?" is often used not to resolve, but to redirect, to make you feel unreasonable for holding your ground. It creates a false equivalency between your truth and their manipulation. It assumes both sides are coming in good faith. But what if one isn't? What if one side has twisted facts, blurred boundaries, ignored pain and now wants to split the difference. In true Stoic thinking, compromise is not weakness, but it must be rooted in justice. As Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." A halfway point between truth and lie is still a lie. And peace built on silence is not peace, it is surrender. When someone offers to meet you halfway, pause. Ask, what exactly are we splitting? Is it your voice? Your values? Your boundaries? Because often that question is used to chip away at your certainty, to plant doubt, to make you believe that standing firm means being difficult. But strength is not stubbornness. It is clarity. It is knowing where you end and someone else begins. Real compromise happens when both parties respect each other's truths, not when one wants to water yours down to make theirs more palatable. And here's the deeper truth. You don't owe equal footing to unequal behavior. You don't have to concede your well-being just to keep things smooth. Your peace matters, and protecting it is not selfish. It is sacred. The Stoics remind us again and again, what you control is your own judgment. The moment you see through the tactic, when you hear, "Let's just meet in the middle," and recognize it for what it is, you reclaim that control. So next time you hear that question, don't rush to agree. Take your time, reflect, and if the compromise costs you more than it gives, walk away. In the end, clarity isn't found in winning an argument. It's in knowing your truth and standing by it. Let's now explore how to build a mindset rooted in that kind of strength. Now, it's time to own your inner ground. So what now? The real power lies not in spotting manipulation, but in being so grounded, so inwardly calm, that manipulation simply doesn't move you. That's the Stoic path, and it's one we all can walk, no matter our age. Epictetus taught, "No person is free who is not master of himself." And that mastery isn't about controlling others, it's about being unshaken by them. It's about choosing peace over pleasing, wisdom over reaction, and dignity over doubt. You've lived long enough to know how precious your energy is. Not everyone deserves access to your time, your emotions, or your forgiveness. The Stoics didn't teach detachment to make us cold. They taught it to help us stay warm without being burned. So the next time someone tries to twist your words, question your memory, or push you toward a false compromise, pause, breathe. Remember, your reality doesn't need their permission. As you move forward, build a mindset that doesn't rush to defend, but listens deeply, sees clearly, and acts only when aligned with your truth. This kind of strength doesn't shout. It doesn't tremble. It just is. If this video brought you insight, I hope you'll share it. Someone out there, maybe someone just like you, might be needing this quiet reminder. You are not here to be molded. You are here to live free. And if you haven't already, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe. It helps this message reach more wise, thoughtful people like you.
Thank you for being here. And until next time, stay wise, stay rooted, and above all, stay true to yourself.